When mega musicals move out of traditional theaters to tour inside massive concert venues, the architecture of the performance has to change. We are looking specifically at the Les Misérables Arena Spectacular at the Sands Theatre. This production relies on a colossal 65-piece cast and orchestra to fill a vast space. That massive scale is a stark departure from the celebrated West End stages, where physical set design became a core experience over decades of performances. This forces a decision for the ticket buyer. Does replacing tangible physical sets with digital screens flatten the emotional weight of the story, or does the expanded orchestra elevate the music to a level a standard theater cannot match? The marketing promises a sweeping cinematic spectacle. But for theatrical purists, there is a real fear that the show has been reduced to a high-definition compromise. This matrix breaks down the engineering differences. We are going to strip away the marketing and compare the traditional stage against the arena setup across pacing, set design, and vocal focus. Evaluating this production requires seeing it as a genre shift, a move from a claustrophobic dramatic play into a symphonic concert event. We can see how this format shift impacts the narrative immediately by looking at the pacing of the opening look-down sequence. On a traditional stage, this scene establishes Valjean's 19 years of hard labor through heavy, tangible props. The actors use grueling, methodical physical movement to set a heavy atmospheric tone. The arena version replaces that visible physical sweat with stylized, abstract movement. It lets a massive orchestral swell hit the audience to establish the stakes. Instead of relying on a slow mechanical set transition to move from the stone quarry to the bishop's house, the arena uses rapid digital fades on the screens. These digital fades maintain a brisk concert flow. The directors made a specific pacing choice to eliminate the quiet connective tissue between scenes and keep the energy high for a massive arena crowd. You effectively trade the physical wall of toil from the actors for a towering wall of sound from the musicians. The sheer volume is majestic, but because the pacing is so rapid, the early character beats are compressed. Valjean's initial suffering can feel slightly rushed, lacking the heavy grind of the stage version. The sharpest contrast in the entire production comes down to set design, and specifically the most recognizable structural element, the barricade. The traditional wooden barricade serves a precise psychological purpose. It creates a literal physical barrier between the characters and the audience, engineering a tight sense of claustrophobia during the siege. That tangible structure allows for vital actor interaction. The performers physically climb and hang off the mass of wood and furniture, conveying a raw, unpredictable revolutionary grit. After the battle, that heavy wooden structure rotates in near silence to reveal the casualties on the other side. It is one of the most somber and effective engineering cues in musical theater. This diagram shows the structural difference. The arena replaces the traditional 3D rotating block with a flat 2D screen. Simulating depth requires mapping the physical lighting rig to a digital perspective vanishing point, a significant technical feat. Going digital solves complex logistical problems. It allows a production of this size to travel globally at high speeds, while providing a visually expansive cinematic backdrop. But the spatial trade-off is clear. High-definition screens flatten 3D depth, and you lose the physical gut punch of watching a heavy, tangible mass pivot in front of you. Removing the physical barricade trades the intimate, claustrophobic reality of a street revolution for a highly polished, visually expansive screen. The primary reason to accept the loss of the physical set is the sheer, massive auditory scale that an arena allows. The orchestra is pulled out of a tucked-away pit and placed prominently on the stage, instantly enhancing the feel of a grand concert event. Operating with 65 pieces at once allows the expanded brass and string sections to hit delicate nuances in the orchestration that are entirely lost in smaller, pit-balanced arrangements. To support this massive sound wall, the entire approach to blocking changes. Instead of fluid, multi-directional movement across the depth of the stage, the actors are directed to stand largely front-facing to the audience. That front-facing stance deliberately prioritizes operatic, powerhouse vocal projection over subtle physical acting and character interaction. This vocal-heavy format requires specific casting. For this run, that includes homegrown Singaporean star Nathania Ong, returning to deliver a powerhouse Eponine. It also features musical royalty Leah Salonga, who steps into the role of Madame Thénardier to deliver a distinctly darker, more nuanced comedic energy. By utilizing the human voice and the 65-piece orchestra as the primary special effects, the production functions as a majestic tribute to the score, rather than a showcase for mechanical staging. This decision tree maps out your ticket choice. If you prioritize intimate storytelling and physical acting, wait for the traditional stage version. If you want the score delivered with symphonic scale and vocal power, book the Arena Spectacular. For a first-timer, you should know that the digital screens do lack the defining 3D claustrophobia that made the classic revolving sets a staple of the show. But if you have already banked those visual memories from previous stage viewings, the precise way the engineers calibrated the acoustics for a room this massive is a significant technical achievement. The choice comes down to the exchange of mechanical theater components for sheer auditory power. The Arena Spectacular succeeds when viewed as a massive symphonic tribute to the score itself.